Okay guys, welcome back to the Porsche rebuild series. And as you can see here, I'm facing you towards the sump area because today we're going to be rebuilding the sump. I'm going to be showing you how to do that. The sump isn't very hard at all to rebuild. It's very straightforward. Again, there's no gasket. You've got to make up your own gasket. You can use any sealer you really want. It just has to be a gasket maker just to make the gasket up yourself. I'm going to be using Loctite 5900, which is what Porsche use to do the gaskets on these cars. Other people can use any other one, instant gasket maker, a cheaper alternative if they really wanted to, but that's the one I'm going to be using. We're going to reconnect all, obviously, the tubes back into here and obviously all the pickup pipes. Once we've done that, then we'll put the sump plate back on and I'll show you how to make the gasket all around here. And then we'll have to leave it to dry, and we'll bolt it all down, show you all the torque specs, what you need to do to torque them all up. And then we'll move on to the next part of the video, another video doing the rest of the stuff which I'll explain to you later on, what we're going to be doing on the next video. But today we're going to focus just on the sump. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to need is this pickup pipe right here. Now this can go any way, it can go that way, it can go this way. These don't matter which way they go. Just be careful with the screws. We're going to screw these down literally very low. Now there is O-rings on here as well, which I need to show you, which I've replaced, which go here. There's an O-ring right here. You can possibly just see it right here on the edge here that you need to replace. They do come in the gasket kit. If you was to rebuild your engine, you will have new O-rings that you need to replace. Now these screws can be a bit fiddly to do with them on, so we'll just take them off there and we'll just push that down so we can then screw this in by hand. We'll just screw that one in, and obviously this is an 8mm. I'm using a metric socket for this. Just going to tighten them down by hand so they see correctly. Then we've got to torque them down, so we'll do that after. Next one you need is the pickup pipe, which is here as well, which this one's got a new O-ring on. You need to replace the O-ring on that, and it goes this way round, so it will go like this, just like that. It doesn't go the other way. I know many people will think it will go the other way, but it does not. So do bear that in mind. We'll just put them bolts in here. Obviously, we just need to tighten them down as well. Now we've got our rubber pickup pipe that we need to install again with a new O-ring. So we're just going to install that. We'll just install that just like that in there. And then we'll just put this in here and we'll just hand tighten these down. Do remember to replace all your O-rings though, because you do get them in the kit and it just makes sense to do it. I wouldn't not do it, especially if you're buying the whole kit and you're going to have them. Now we've done that, now we're going to go ahead and torque all the bolts, and they torque to 10 Newton meters. So you can already see I've got this set to 10 Newton meters. We're going to go ahead and tighten all the bolts, which shouldn't take long to do. And they are all torqued down. Now we've done that, now we're going to build up our gasket. You can see I've cleaned up the area the best I could with a razor blade from the old gasket. I'm going to show you what we're going to be using the Loctite 5900. We're going to make a gasket, then we're going to install the sump plate. I'm going to show you how to get it right the first time, because you want to get it sitting the correct way the first time. Otherwise, when you go to seat it, you'll put it on the wrong way around and you don't want that. So this is the sump plate, and the way to know which way this goes round is very simple. The sump plug is towards your right. You can see here I'm facing the engine this way, so that's how I know this is the right way. And then what you're going to do is you're going to sit it over all of this and then pull it on like that. And then you've got 13 bolts that you'll need to torque up to 10 Newton meters again to tighten up the sump pan. Now we'll do that once we've got the gasket sealer on, but we're not going to do that just yet. What I need to do is seal it all up, and then we'll put this on and torque it all up. So you can see here, this is the stuff we're going to be using, which is Loctite 5900. This is the stuff they use in the factory, so I thought I have it, so I'm just going to use it anyway because I had it for when I was doing my Boxster. So we're going to go ahead and just put some of this all around to create a seal. You can see how thick this is coming out, and we don't need that much, so we'll wipe it all off after. we'll just use whatever we can just to create a gasket. And obviously, many of you guys know this is to create a gasket for, so it sticks. And you can see here, it's very, very thick stuff, but it works. It's very, very good, this stuff. I've used it for many things on my Boxster, and it's been brilliant when I've been doing maintenance and everything on that one. And I've never had no issues with this stuff. That's why I would choose to use this to make my gasket. As I said, you don't have to. It's all down to personal choice. But for me, I choose to use the Loctite 5900. One, it's a lot more easy to, as you can see here, spread. It's much easier to use and to get around all the areas you want it to get in. Obviously, it does do its job in seals that I know very, very well, due to, like I said, using it myself. And obviously, it keeps it strongly and firmly in place. Now, this stuff doesn't dry very quick either because it dries with heat. So you've also got the advantage of that. It only dries with heat. So obviously, once the car's started, that's when it will actually dry. Now we'll put the sump on. Now everywhere's covered, and we'll just push it into position, just like that. And now we can start putting in all our 13 bolts. So these are 8mm. So you just put them all in everywhere. And there isn't a torque sequence for these either. But we'll do a sequence on them anyway, just to make sure they will go down completely. We'll probably just run them down with the impact as well. And now what we'll do is we'll get our torque wrench, which is a 10 Newton meters, and we'll just torque them all up. So we'll start up here first. As you can see there, that's now the sump pan on. That's now the sump complete. As you see there, guys, it's very, very easy to rebuild it. So if you wanted to do it yourself, when you strip your engine, you can do it very, very easily. If you can't remember where everything goes, just take pictures, and then you can just look up the torque specs online just to find out what you need to torque them up to. But apart from that, it's very, very easy. Just remember which way the sump pan goes back on, and that's about it. So there you have it, guys. Another part of this Porsche has now been rebuilt. This is probably one of the simplest things anyone can do, is the sump pan on a Porsche engine. Now, as many of you guys see, if you have got a BMW, how easy it is to replace the sump gasket if it ever went out. It's not like a BMW where you have to drop the whole subframe or anything. You can get to this even when it's in the car without taking the engine out, and just quickly drop the sump, literally clean your pickup pipes, replace the gasket, and away you go again. Put the bolts in, torque them up, and it's all done. The gasket obviously dries with the heat. This is the same gaskets they use for the valve covers as well on a Porsche engine, which is the Loctite 5900. You'll see me using that when I do the valve covers as well. But you get to see there, that's now the sump complete. On the next video, you're gonna start seeing me build up the thermostat, the water pump. We're gonna be doing all the ancillaries on the front where the center console is, getting it ready. And then we'll put on the heads after, because I need to put all that on first. So we'll be doing that on the next video, which is gonna be thermostat, water pump, anything else I've got that needs to go onto the front. I'm not sure yet, because I've got so many bits here. I need to go through what actually goes on the front, and we need to pull it all onto the front of the engine before we start putting the heads on, and then we put all the ancillaries on, the rest of that on top of the heads as well. So I hope many of you guys are actually enjoying this Porsche 997 rebuild series. As I said to many of you guys, we haven't got long left now, probably about 4 more days, probably about 4 more videos, engine timing, ancillaries. Then we will just put it back into the car. Then we've got a service transmission once it's in the car. It doesn't take long to bolt it back up to the car at all. The ancillaries is probably going to be the longest part, but I reckon we can do that very, very quickly. This is one of the simplest tasks. You can see the engine's coming along very, very well. I'm renewing everything. As I said, next video is water pump, thermostat, whatever else goes onto the front, probably the crank pulley, everything else that needs to go onto the front, and Then we'll move on to the timing, valve covers, ancillaries, and then we'll get this back into the car and finish this engine off. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope you're enjoying this series. If you have, do give it a like. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you look forward to the next video of this rebuild series.